What are some green flags early on in dating that the relationship should become serious? You go on a road trip together and still like each other at the end of it. The ability to apologize. If your partner never sees their faults, it'll never work. You genuinely enjoy one another's company during dull moments. Life's full of them and you are going to want a partner who you can enjoy them with. If they respond well when you are dealing with a crisis situation, or when you are seriously ill, or when your family member is seriously ill, they may be a keeper. In other words, how do they act/interact with you during times of stress? Does their presence/behavior help? Do they make it worse, or do they make themselves scarce? Encouraging growth, but doesn't try to change your foundation. When you can talk forever about pretty much anything, and when something you have different opinions about becomes an interesting discussion rather than a fight. Comfortable silences. If you can enjoy each other's companies without needing a distraction, you're usually golden. When, during an argument, both parties take time to listen and respond thoughtfully to their partner and show genuine concern for the distress in their partner, even if it is small. Being able to make each other laugh. Understanding the other person's sense of humor is critical in long relationships, and besides, do you really want to get serious with someone who can hardly make you laugh or smile? Both people genuinely enjoying the conversation, being attentive to each other. No negative attitude either. On my second date, before I was supposed to move states, we got stuck in a parking garage cause of an accident for 45 minutes. We watched a non-subtitled foreign film on my phone, enjoyed talking with one another, and we connected despite being done with what we had planned to do and were stuck in a car. I ended up canceling my move and marrying the woman. About 4 months into my relationship I got injured. There was a chance that I wouldn't be able to walk again. My then girlfriend, now wife, said, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay. We can figure this out either way." I'm okay now, but just knowing she was going to stay with me no matter what was huge. We've been together 8 years now. We have our challenges, but at the end of the day we both know we're there for each other. They're okay with spending time apart. A significant other, or even just a friend, that can spend their own time alone and doesn't absolutely need you to be happy is a major green flag. You should make each other's lives better, not become each other's entire lives. Noticing the other does not take themselves too seriously. In the very early days of dating my now husband, we took a long road trip for a romantic getaway in Boston. The first night in town, expensive dinner in a famous seafood restaurant. The server brings the bill and takes my date's credit card. Server comes back with the news that the credit card was declined. Both he and I burst out laughing at the same moment. That was my green flag. Do they respect your boundaries? Do they apologize or acknowledge if they have done something wrong without making themselves the victim? My husband and I have endless conversations. There's nothing we can't talk about. Nothing. The first time we ever chatted on the phone we talked for 6 hours. We've been together for 15 years and still talk every day, several times a day. We love our breakfast time because we chat after eating and really enjoy each other's company. We love talking no matter where we are. And since he also works from home, we work together. There's lots of times we're saying nothing, just enjoying being around each other. But I love that we can talk about anything we want and it doesn't descend into an argument. I asked my then girlfriend to hand me a screwdriver. She asked flathead, Phillips or vodka? It was then, I knew she was the one. If you set a boundary and they respect it. If you say that you are more comfortable meeting them at the date location after they offer you a ride, they shouldn't insist on picking you up. The one that surprised me the most was being upset and telling my BF how I needed them to do XYZ, help me with chores, walk the dog every once in a while, etc., because I was overwhelmed and frustrated, and he just responded, "Okay, I didn't know you felt like that. I'll try to do better, but please remind me if I forget," and that was that. And he did. It seems small and obvious, but holy crap, I don't think I had ever felt more heard. Being comfortable with time apart. Early on in my relationship he went out of town with his family. When he arrived back in town he called me and thanked me for giving him space, but now he misses me and wants to come over. Apparently, his last girlfriend had him on the phone day and night when he was out of town and he was shocked I didn't call him at all. I was respecting his space. We've been married 5 years now, and I still don't bother him when he's gone for a weekend. He calls me every night before bed, but I don't bug him because I want him to enjoy his time without worrying about me. It helps that I trust him. Did they return their shopping cart to the cart return after grocery shopping? I stand by shopping cart theory as a good indicator of a person's moral compass. Early in our dating days, I was on a train with my now husband. The inspector was checking our tickets while we were about to pull away from the station when my husband spotted a woman come running down the platform. He pointed this out to the inspector, who stuck his arm out the window and held the train until she got on. My husband was so casual about it, didn't think anything of it really, and it was a small action, but one that likely made her day better. I thought it said a lot about his character, that he'd help out a stranger who didn't even know it. I was right, he is still that kind of guy. He or she remembers small details from your conversations. It means they pay attention to you and what your interests are. You like the same form of entertainment. Sounds shallow, but if you end up with someone, chances are you're going to spend a lot of time watching TV/movie/whatever together. They don't push their preferences on you and pressure you to maintain them. Open communication about sex and feelings. Holding that stuff in for too long can lead to build-up resentment, communication breakdown, confusion, depression, all sorts of issues down the road. And being okay with raising concerns and issues, like if you find a person who can deal with that level-headedly, maybe even not agree but at least hear your piece without getting offended, you're a winner. I don't believe in relationships where there are no conflicts or concerns ever. That just doesn't happen. Relationships are bumpy and full of snags, and being able to navigate them together is so important. When you feel completely at ease with them, you feel you can totally be yourself. Love is fireworks at first, but if they come with a warm glow rather than edginess, that's a good sign. I knew my boyfriend was the one when I asked him how an internal combustion engine actually works. All my life I had been dismissed when I asked cause I just wouldn't understand. He immediately pulled the car over and explained the entire engine from crank to carb. I totally understood and was grateful he saw that I was genuinely interested and he had the respect to take the time to explain. We have been together for over 40 years and working on our project cars is still one of our favorite couples pastime also. He leaves the crunchy French fries for me even though they are his favorite to smile. Good sex is so important, which also comes into honest communication with one another. Do not fake pleasure in bed, you are doing both of you a disfavor. Being weird together after only a couple of dates. It has taken me forever with most, but if I'm able to open up and be silly then I know it's a really good sign, as I'm an introvert and incredibly shy around someone new, especially someone I see as a partner. If they treat you well when it all goes sideways. Many people are good at being loving when life is easy, their true selves, other behaviors may show when life is hard. Smaller examples of this might be, how do they treat you when they're sick or stressed out? Well, worth paying attention to. Being able to randomly text them about anything whatsoever and being able to have a conversation, and never having to worry that they'll be like, where did that come from, or why did you bother to text that to me? You still want to hang out with each other after sex, whether that's the next day or next week. When you're around them, you feel like you're the best version of yourself / the person you want to be, but they shouldn't be _changing _ you. It should be more like naturally bringing out your preferred version of your genuine self. If their friends are all great people, our closest friends are a reflection of ourselves, you can tell a lot about who they hang out with. Also, how well do they treat other people they don't know, waiters, bartenders, janitors, etc. I don't know about green flags, but normally, not during Corona sadly, the best method is to see how they treat the waiter. Says a lot about them. They accept you for who you are, flaws and all. Now I'm not saying that the flaws ignored, but they see them and help you work through them and better yourself. Also they find the little things that separate you from everyone else and celebrate them. My wife pinpointed my hearing disability from the jump and made it known that she didn't mind learning ways to communicate with me when I'm in an environment where I can hear well. If the person is genuinely a busy person but will always find time to see you and spend time with you. This is biased towards straight women, but if the guy you're seeing has many platonic female friends, it shows that women trust him. On our first date I introduced her as my future ex-wife. She laughed and quickly shot back with, "Unless I become a widow first." We've been happily married for almost 10 years. A sense of humor is criminally underrated. Consistent effort by both parties and not just minimal effort either. Communication is clear, direct, open, and honest. Trustworthiness. The person has shown consistently time and again that they don't have anything to hide. Their words match their actions, etc. They have good character. Respect in how they treat others makes the other feel worthy and valuable as a person / human being. No one person is controlling over the other. Guess I'm still single. Woman shrugging. Respect, consent, boundaries. Never be with someone who demeans or belittles you, even as a joke. They shouldn't put their needs ahead of yours, nor should you. Again, respect. And best of all, they should support and encourage you. I saw this in my husband when we met, see 2008, even though we were dumb teenagers back then, and now has even more amazing. When they do something that cheers you up when you didn't ask. I go through depression spikes and my BF just knows. He knows what I need when even I don't. Right now I'm in a bubble bath, from his own bottle of bubble bath, with a cider, and he made me laugh. When you miss them after being without them for only a few hours when they put forth an actual effort into the relationship, coming to you sometimes, cooking for you, or offering to / bringing food. These made me realize how great the woman I'm now dating is. I'm missing her even right now. When they are not over the top infatuated with you but just enthusiastic. It's not sexy, but they should be able to manage their emotions and have realistic expectations. People such as narcissists, people pleasers, or pretty much anyone with a personality disorder are good at giving you whatever you want at the beginning of a relationship. It is called love bombing. Next thing you know, they either ignore you or lash out if you don't give them the attention they want. They are responsible in their current relationships. They are there for friends and family. For example, they fit in well with your friends, and your friends think that this is a good match. Inviting your child from a previous relationship on dates. My now husband always made sure I brought my son with us to dinners, lunches, the beach, etc. Immediately bonded. We've been married for 5 years. I get that he shouldn't take on the father role since my son's father is still in the picture, but my husband also wasn't about to ignore him like he didn't belong either. When the person is able to react to negative situations with flexibility. When they can adapt to a change of plans or a chaotic, unpredicted event and still just enjoy their time with you. When they willingly exercise empathy and understanding instead of anger and shaming. Those are two big greenies in my current relationship that really made me appreciate my son more in the beginning.